So after that, I went and saw Star Trek Beyond. Um, Now, I won't lie to you. I've never grew up the biggest Star Trek fan, and it wasn't until like really the rebooted movies where I started to get a lot of interest in these films. I've watched the other ones here and there. I've seen bits and pieces, but I just never really got into them until the reboots came out. I really liked that movie a lot. I thought it was a really solid film that kind of like got people like me that never really was into Star Trek into Star Trek. I mean, I'm just your kind of casual viewer, really, still, but I still liked it. I still liked the films, even though I didn't care too much for Into Darkness. If you didn't see my review for that like a few years ago, main reason I didn't care for it is basically the main reason I think a lot of people didn't care for it, and that was because it decided. I said this. I liked the first half of the Into Darkness, but then the second half, when they decided to remake Wrath of Khan, is where I was like, really? You couldn't come up with anything original, and you had to remake fucking Wrath of Khan? Really? Um, but yeah, I still liked the movie. I thought it was all right, but man, it was like, yeah, it was a big step down from like the first reboot. And then I thought the trailers, unlike a lot of people, I thought the trailers for this were fine. I like the use of sabotage. I've heard a lot of Star Trek nerds complain about it. I'm like, all right, it was kind of funny. I liked it. I thought that was unique. You see the song "Sabotage" in a Star Trek trailer. Why not? Um, and this movie, I know a lot of people weren't really looking forward to it because of the trailers, but I thought, like I said, I was like, all right, it doesn't look bad. It looks like they're kind of going back to the roots, being a Star Trek movie, like old school Star Trek movie. So that's kind of nice. You're not trying to remake a movie that already exists. So yeah, I liked it. I like Star Trek Beyond. Um, I would still say the reboot's better. The first reboot was better, but this is better than Star Trek Into Darkness. Like I said, it felt like it was going back to its roots. From what I've seen of Star Trek movies, it's going back to its roots, and also in a lot of ways pays tribute to a lot of does a lot of fan service and pays tribute to like the original series, and I'll talk about that a little bit more here. Um, the main thing I love about these movies is that take away all the action scenes, you got a really goddamn good, like, solid ensemble cast, like ensemble movie. The things I liked about this movie mainly are the interactions between everybody. Everybody's just perfect in their roles by now. Zachary Quinto's Spock is great. The, Chris Pine is James T. Kirk. Everybody is perfect in their goddamn roles, and they all have great chemistry together. Like the best stuff in this movie is just like the shit that they give each other throughout this whole thing. Like like Spock and some of the best stuff with Spock and Bones. Carl Urban, my god, this guy is like one of the best things about this whole series, and like the more these movies go by, like the more it seems like he gets a bigger role, which I'm happy about. He is hilarious in this movie. He has the best lines in this whole fucking thing. I really enjoyed him a lot in this thing. He like his interaction with Spock was hilarious. His interactions with Kirk too, but I also really, really, really enjoyed. This was probably one of the main things I enjoyed the most. Was the tribute they paid to Leonard Nimoy. Oh my god, that was really touching, man. I know this was the first movie to come out since his passing, and I never, of course, like I said, I didn't grow up on Star Trek, but I knew who Leonard Nimoy was, and I knew he was a pretty awesome dude. And I liked him a lot in the last two Star Trek movies as the older Spock. I was like that. I thought it was kind of funny. He was playing an older Spock, that was giving advice to younger Spock, and it is revealed like very early in the movie. This is not really getting the spoilers, but I guess it is kind of. But it is revealed like earlier in the movie that Zachary Quinto finds out that Spock has died. So he knows his death date, which makes you kind of like start thinking about your life a little bit. But he finds out his death date, that older Spock has died, and it's like his reaction, genuine reaction, is like, I had to feel like a lot of his dialogue in that movie when he's talking about Spock is not acting. It's like his genuine emotion, his acting. Zachary Quinto pulls off a fucking amazing performance, especially during that monologue where he's talking about what it means, kind of like what it means to be Spock, being Spock. How he wants to pay pay tribute to this man. Wants to live up to his standards and everything else. It's a really good monologue. He goes on and on about, and they pay really great service to a man who I thought was the heart and soul of this franchise. Man, it was kind of touch. It was really cool. I really recommend it. Also, Anton Yelchin, they didn't really get a chance to do a tribute to him because he just died pretty much after the movie had been in post-production, for God's sake. So, but he does get have a big role in this movie, honestly. That was kind of nice. You get to see a lot. I don't know if maybe they edited it a little bit so to make him have a bigger role. I don't know, maybe not, but it was fine. I liked that. They got to give his character kind of a send off. It's kind of creepy at the end of the movie. We're all standing together oh, he's not gonna be in the next one, though. It's God damn it. And apparently they're not gonna replace him, unfortunately. I guess I should talk about the controversy. One big controversy about this movie, and that is the Sulu being gay. I want to talk about this for a second because, okay, it is honestly, it's really unnecessary. That's my stance on it. I'm fine with having gay characters in films or whatever. That's awesome. That's that's, there should be more gay. It could be kind of people that young gay people can look up to and stuff like that. But really, this is unnecessary because honestly, you wouldn't even know if he was gay until they go to a space station in space, to take a break from deep space, and he runs into the arms of his gay lover and their adopted kid, and I'm okay, and that's just it. That's all you see of this guy, his gay lover, and he also pops up at the end at a party that they have at the end of the movie. And I was that was not really necessary to have that. It's I forgot to mention with Finding Dory, because really it was so irrelevant in Finding Dory, because the only reason they put this out there is because so they can get publicity. That's it. Which I don't understand why you need to get publicity for fucking Star Trek, but whatever. Even fucking George Takei even said it was unnecessary and he thought it was stupid. Which, yeah, I understand why they did it. It's because George Takei is gay. I get it. He's one of the most well-known gay people out there. But yeah, it's it was really unnecessary. You could do a better job of putting a gay character out there than doing this. Also, I gotta give props to this movie for everybody bitched about having a song Sabotage in the trailers. It does have that song does have a big part at the end of this movie. Let's just say, basically, how they defeat the aliens at the end of the movie is by using the song Sabotage. That was kind of funny. I never thought I'd see that in a fucking Star Trek movie. That was really fucking funny. I laughed at that. That that was unique. If there is one complaint I have with this movie, and this is the reason why I didn't like this as much as I liked the reboot, was because honestly, I didn't get into this movie as much as I would want to. Like, the beginning of it was fine because it had a lot of the interactions between all the crew members, and they're giving shit to each other and all shit like that. Also, I really liked that opening scene where Kirk was giving a peace offering to like this alien planet. That was fucking hilarious. That was a really well done scene. But one of the reasons I was like, why do I find myself not really that interested in this movie? I was like, I was thinking about it throughout the whole movie. Then I thought about it. Then I realized it's because, honestly, the villain in this movie is forgettable. It is very fucking forgettable. It's Idris Elba, who, again, you have fucking Idris Elba, and he's a fucking forgettable villain. He has, like, the same basic wanting to tear down the Federation, like, plot that you've seen a million times done before. Yeah. That was like, that was like, come on. And he's just your generic, bland, early villain. Even though it's being played by Idris Elba, he does sound intimidating. You really don't get to see him without the makeup until the very end, which is kind of, like I said, it could have been anybody really, other than but like if I wouldn't have recognized the voice, I would have been like, who the fuck is that? But anyways, yeah, I just found him to be really just forgettable villain. He's kind of like, I kind of feel like this. I feel like with these movies, it's kind of similar to the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies in that, holy crap, my nose is all. In that, like, you have a lot of great stuff about these movies, but whenever it comes to villains, the villains are very forgettable. Like, almost every Marvel Cinematic Universe movie has really a forgettable villain, except Loki. That's about it. And this is no different. Yeah, my phone's going off. I just hear my phone going off. I have to answer it a little later. But anyways, damn it, phone going off. My other phone's probably gonna go off here shortly. Anyways, what the hell was I talking about? I got distracted by my phone. Yeah, the villain being forgettable. Also, I kept wondering throughout this whole movie, as I was seeing the Enterprise get destroyed again, I'm like, how many fucking... Somebody that's a Star Trek fan can maybe answer this, how many times do they have to fucking rebuild the Star Enterprise? Because this thing gets destroyed a hell of a lot. Like, they could not keep this from being, like, destroyed. Like, it's getting ridiculous. It's probably costing the Federation shitloads of money how much they have to spend on building so many different enterprises. It's kind of hilarious. I was thinking that while I was watching the movie, like, Jesus Christ. And also, the movie does have a lot of the same subplots that Star Trek Into Darkness had. Spock is having relationship troubles with Uhura, which was same in the first or the second one. You know, a storyline that was similar in the second one. And also, although it does have it does tie in, his relationship troubles tie in with what's going on with the older Spock and everything else. So that was nice. But also, you have Kirk, who's trying to decide whether he wants to be a captain or not anymore. And I'm like, really? These are the same fucking subplots that you see, like, for the first two movies. Can't come up with anything fucking original. Like, it's like, really? But whatever. It's still a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I really highly recommend it. It's really, really good, for about the dog days of summer. This is a standout, honestly. I really recommend this movie. So that's as far. Sorry, damn. That's as far as trailers. Duh. I did get one new trailer, and that is Triple X Return of Xander Cage. Who the fuck asked for a Triple X sequel? Please, somebody in the comments tell me if you've been dying waiting for a Triple X sequel. Again, here we go again with a sequel to a movie that's like 20 years old, coming out like 20 years too late. Like, seriously, this is getting ridiculous. Now we're getting a Triple X sequel. Why? Like, who the fuck asked for this? I sure as hell didn't. I mean, I love Vin Diesel and everything else, but Triple X movies have been I barely remember them. This is also coming out in January. I'm like, so that just proves that movie's gonna suck. So whatever. That's as far as trailers go. I'll be back later this week with a review for Jason Bourne. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later.